Chovot Halevavot. We said last time that Hashem creates many ways for people's livelihood, and Hashem a lot of times gives people more money than they need, and he's doing this as a test to see how connected and how much belief a person has in Hashem. If a person uses the money to splurge on himself only, that means he has very low emunah in Hashem and thinks his parnasa comes from his skill set, as opposed to a person who is willing to give tzedakah and give to others. It shows that he believes in Hashem and he knows his money came from Hashem, and therefore he does what Hashem asks of him with this money as well. So now the Chovot Halevavot says there's many challenges that rich people fall into, and these are them. The foolish person amongst them, three ways he'll make a mistake when it comes to wealth. One of the things is that a person has a yitzhara to amass funds. There's a yitzhara to just be wealthy for the sake of being wealthy. I just like seeing the stack of money in my house. It just gives me such a nahat, I open my bank account, I see big numbers. Oh, it's like, it makes me sleep good at night. It makes me feel good about myself. It's like I go outside and I see my nice car in the driveway. I see my nice, moldings on my wall. I want to see the nice stack of money in my bank account. It makes me feel good. So that's one yesara. For he obtains whatever money Hashem ordained that he will obtain anyways, right? No more, no less. Al panim megunim ra'im, but he does so in disgraceful and wicked ways. If he would obtain and try to pursue the funds in appropriate ways, so because of this, desire to amass money, many times it leads to people amassing money in the wrong way, right? We spoke about this many times in the community, how, let's say you have very wealthy people and they show off their wealth, and then other people see them and they get jealous, and they also want to have all that stuff. And then they say, I have to make as much as he does, even if it means to be doing illegal stuff, I have to do it because I have to see myself like how he sees himself. So therefore, the same thing over here. A person has to know that Hashem is going to give you a certain amount regardless. If you choose to do it in a forbidden way, that's your problem. Hashem would have given it to you in a mutar way. It's just you fell into the trap of thinking that you have to do it in an illegal way and didn't believe how you could get it in a legal way. Everyone has a choice to get their income through illegal or illegal. The challenge is that you have to know that you can never say, I need to have money, so therefore it justifies doing illegal work. Even if you give tzedakah afterwards, even if you have good causes afterwards, it's never ever permitted. Okay, so number one mistake is that he thinks he has to amass money. Number two is that he was chosen by Hashem with all this wealth to give it to other people, to support other people. And what is he doing? He's thinking that he has to support himself. He has to go and do illegal things to get more. And then even when he gets the money, he just sits on it and looks at it and makes him happy and forgets to do what Hashem created him to do it for. Okay. Number two, שני הוא חושב שכל מה שמגיע אליו מן הממון הוא טרף מזונו ולא יבין כי הטרף מתחלק שלושה חלקים. He says a person makes a great deal of money, he makes a mistake. He thinks that all the money he earns is for his personal well-being. He says, what do you mean? All this money I made, I worked hard for it. I deserve it. It's meant, Hashem gave it to me to spend it on myself. It's all for my personal well-being. And that's a mistake, right? Because he says, well, you don't need so much money for you. You covered your month, and you have a tremendous extra. You have enough for the next whole year. If you didn't work one more day this year, you would have had enough for the rest of the year. And he says to himself, no, Hashem gave this to me to hold as savings for the future. And if I give away this money, I might have to go and make some more. Or this extra money was given to me to indulge in luxuries. Hashem wants me to drive the Mercedes. Hashem wants me to go on vacation 6 times a year. Hashem wants me to go in the Pesach program. That's why Hashem gave me so much money. Whoa, to give tzedakah? No, He gave it to me to buy 4, 5, 6 luxury watches. That's why Hashem gave it to me. What are you saying? So therefore, this person makes a mistake and he becomes stingy with others and splurges on himself because he thinks he made the wrong understanding, thinking that Hashem gave him to have to spend on himself. And he says that you have to realize a person's income can be divided into 3 parts. Number 1, income for his food. Teref mezono. That's a basic sustenance for your own body. Then he says, he says that sustenance that you'll need to eat and to survive, your basic sustenance, Hashem provides for every living creature until the end of its days. The Gemara Masechet Kiddushin says, right, that an elephant, right, how much does it cost the Bronx Zoo to hold an elephant? They say $60,000. For this, they give him his food, someone to clean him, some doctor to check him, to give him his little area to set it up nicely, to he should feel comfortable. All these things, $60,000 a year. Hashem gives every elephant running around in Africa $60,000 a year worth of goods, right? Animals, health, and all that stuff. And Hashem gives to them, and all they do is eat, sleep, procreate, go to the bathroom. How much more so, says the Gemara, how much more so a person, he serves Hashem, how easily Hashem could give him also his basic needs. Hashem provides for the animals, he can provide for us also. And that's the first type. The second type is teref mezon zulato, the income for the food of others. So you have for yourself, and then you have to provide for your wife, your kids, your servants, your employees. But that income is not guaranteed. For yourself, it's guaranteed. For others that you have to support, it's not guaranteed. Only the privileged among them are able to have enough for their family and their employees. Under specific conditions. And even sometimes people who do get, they only get one time, they don't get every time. It's all about the it's all about if how Hashem judges you, if you deserve or you don't deserve, then Hashem will be able to give you. Some people don't have money to support their wife. They come collecting, they say, I have bills to pay for my kids, my wife, their medical bills, the basic bills of the home, I can't do it. I find enough money to buy myself falafel, but I don't have enough money to pay the bills of the house and to pay the bills of my wife. So that's not guaranteed. That you have to work for. That you have to have zechut. The third type is what? Is teref kinyan, is capital. Capital is money to be able to spend on business, money to be able to bring more money in. Right? That money has no benefit for any person who possesses it. Rather, he guards it, he protects it like a watchman. It's sitting in the account until he gives it to somebody else, or he loses it somewhere. And what does the guy think? We said that there's 3 types of income, and the foolish person thinks there's only one type of income. One type of income called for myself. Like the first, everything is basic necessities. He says, Rabbi, I need the BMW. I need it. So what do you mean? This is basic necessities. I must. Hashem gave it for myself. No, my friend. This is luxuries. No, Rabbi, I need it. I can't live without it. So this person has to work on himself. He's very gashmiut. He's very connected to materialistic. He's very materialistic. Now the foolish person thinks what? All the money he receives, he thinks it's income for his own food and maintenance of his own body. And therefore what? Therefore it increases fortune. He goes and he amasses more and more, puts more effort, and he hoards the money. And he doesn't realize that really this money is meant for something else. Why he might even be amassing it for his wife's future husband, the man she will marry after he dies, the hargo, or to his murderer, the gadol shebesanav, or the greatest of his enemies. This person doesn't realize that maybe the work that he's doing is not just in vain. It's actually for a purpose he's against. He would be far better off generously sharing his surplus. That way he'll get credit for his kindness. So what happens? Instead of giving it to somebody else and getting a mitzvah of tzedakah, so what happens? He amasses it, and Hashem didn't want you to have that money. He meant for you to give it away. So now what does Hashem do? Hashem makes it some tragedy happens, and this money anyways is going to go to somebody else. What does the poor guy do? Imagine. What is a working man's life? 18 years old. Today, the kids, 13 years old, 14 years old, they want to work also already, right? So let's say you're 15 years old, you start working. You work 9 to 5, work, and you work till you're 60, you retire 60. That means 40-something years you're working, right? And from those years that you're working, you have barely a few hours a day to do what you really want to do. You're just working the whole day. So it comes out that almost majority of your life, right? So let's say a person lives 80 years, half your life you're just working, amassing money to pay all these bills and to just be able to get by with life. And where's your life? So little kid, you didn't really realize what life is about. Old person, he finally wants to do everything in the world he can because he's old already and he's very limited, and it's hard, much harder to, basic living is much harder. So all this 40 years of his prime years he wasted working, and in the end, the money that he all amassed, in the end, he passes away tragically, or he ends up having to bequeath it to his children, inheritance, or he ends up, somebody else taking it. And he says, Chaval, he could have got at least the zechut of all those years that he gave tzedakah and supported people around him. And that's why a person has to pass this test of the wealth, and he has to realize not everything's guaranteed. But when Hashem did give you, you have to think twice what to spend it on. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen.